Housekeeping rules of safety. Laminating, that's a piece of my work. It's all done cold working. It's the opportunity to cut and polish and cut and polish and cut and polish. But the end result, I think, is kind of nice. It's cold working on steroids. I mean, that's all it is on this. But it gives you the opportunity of blending and mixing materials that you couldn't do hot. Soda lime and lead crystal. In this case, some optical coated glass. Things that I would not be able to do hot. And you're dealing with coefficient of refraction and expansion. So bonding them together is about the only way to do that. The downside is every surface is critical. For the best quality or the best look in your work, every surface has to be polished. You can bond pieces that are ground flat, and the adhesive will hide that somewhat. But if you're always looking on it, you can always see it. So to me, it's labor intensive. The exacting of the polish is truly important. Another potential downside is the safety factor. Some people have developed sensitivity to the chemicals in epoxies or what's used in cleaning up epoxies and stuff like that. Again, housekeeping. If you haven't learned anything, housekeeping is important. Don't use bubble gum to glue your glass. It's just not archival. Safety. Which of you really doesn't have any care over your eyes or your lungs or your ears? I think most of us want them to wear out naturally rather than prematurely. So protect your lungs, protect your eyes, protect your ears. No one expects to get that chip of glass in their eye until it's too late. Always wear glasses. I mean, you only have one set, and that doesn't mean you have a spare. And then with the glass, you've made your glass. What are you going to do with it? Think about not only when you're working on it, but your collector's going to have it. Will your glass cause damage to your collector's cabinets or tables? I mean, you want to put these little rubber feet on them so they're not scratching up their black lacquer table that they spent thousands of dollars on. Not good for public relations. How and where you mount your glass. I've seen glass on walls and ceilings. If it's going to break, are your collectors going to be surviving it? Yes, glass breaks. I mean, you can't guarantee your glass is not going to break, but you don't want it to break and injure somebody. So will it be safe? And you just really want to think it through, because you also don't want the glass breaking while you're working on it. Watch your contamination. It's the nemesis in all our glass studios. I think we've all been there. Where'd that scratch come from? Was it a rogue diamond? Something fall out from under your fingernail? A little chip of glass on the corner that you should have beveled before you did your grinding? Loose grit gets everywhere. Diamond pads are susceptible to contamination on the back. 90% of the contamination on a diamond disc happens on the magnet. It'll pick up a little wire from a wire brush, a blade from your X-Acto if it's too close. Once it's down, that will cause a bump, and that bump raises the diamonds there, so every time you're grinding, those diamonds come along really aggressively and scratch the devil out of the glass. Even a little crystal of glass stuck into the magnet in the back can be enough to be an aggravation. So got to get in with a pocket knife and dig those little chunks of stuff out. And when you're done, a hole in the magnet is going to be much better than something adding mass to the magnet. Finally, a lot of us do cold working on glass that has been annealed. How well is it annealed? Is that piece going to blow up in your hands while you're grinding? Stress in the glass is just a bomb waiting to happen. If it makes it through your grinding, is it going to survive? Is it going to be archival? Is it going to last on your collectors or the museum shelves for 20, 30 years or 400 years? You're putting your name on it, so you want it to survive. Yes, ma'am. So you've got both sides of the argument. The question is, with electroplated diamonds, is one direction better, or should you reverse it? Is that sufficient? And this will be for wheels, for diamond plates. Yeah, that's an argument. I can give you my view. The diamonds on wheels, most are electroplated, natural diamonds, engineered to break and be sharp. A diamond is very happy with force going against it in one direction. As soon as you change direction, you're changing force on the diamond will be more likely to break, but it'll break into a sharp edge. So if If you switch direction and it breaks, it's going to essentially sharpen all the diamonds and it'll be more efficient. But your diamonds are progressively going lower every time you switch directions. I'm of a thought that I like to maintain always the same direction because the diamond does have nickel behind it, and it's stronger that way. You don't really need to dress wheels per se, as my understanding. Diamond wheels can be dressed with, the diamond plates can be dressed when the machine is turned off, the wheel is on your plate, and you get it wet, and you get a dressing stone, which is aluminum oxide, kind of hold it like a dagger and grind center to edge while you slowly turn it, and you'll end up like putting spokes on a wheel. You're putting force on the diamond sideways, which will break it and make it more aggressive again and very random in height. But you only do that when your diamond pad has worn enough that it's supporting the glass more than grinding the glass. I don't think I can get away doing that more than 3 or 4 times to a plate. So it's not something you want to do every Friday. And if you've got workers in your shop, you don't want to teach them this because they'll do it all the time because it really makes the pad nicer while they're working it, and it's going to wear it out, and that's good for your supplier and not for you. So you can go either way. I don't think so. Ed. He's in the other camp. Because his controller allows it. Seriously, some people like to go one direction. I'm a clockwise person. I like grinding over this way. You can have reversible, but pick one. And then I would suggest not changing it.